Hi, I'm Ina, certified business and life coach, founder of Thrive with Ina podcast, and a columnist for Intentional Living magazine. There's always room for improvement in your current situation, whether it's life, business, or relationships. I help women around the world to get equipped with the exact tools that are needed to propel to the next level. On this podcast, you can learn all the encouraging stories of incredible entrepreneurs, their hardships, and the exact tools to achieve success. You can also search for mindful meditation episodes that can help you get grounded in the chaos of life and business. You can get full access to my coaching platform and this podcast on www.thrivewithina.com. And now, tune into a new episode of Thrive with Ina podcast, and happy listening.
How are you?
I'm doing well.
So good. I'm so excited to have you here in the space. I've been working on getting you here for a while, and like last week I was so sick, and this week I'm so happy that finally in the clear from all the flu and COVID that was happening.
Thank goodness.
I was sick for like 2 weeks in the month of December, so it's great.
I was excited to sleep late last week, so I was okay with you canceling.
Yeah. I love it. But now we're here, and hello everyone. We are here today welcoming a really great friend of mine and very inspiring person to tell everyone her story.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
All right.
So exciting. So, Nicole, how do we meet? Oh, we met through Long Island Content Creative Collective.
Yeah.
Did I butcher that?
Long Island Content Collective.
Okay.
Sometimes
Creative Collective.
I know, because we are creative. So
Yes.
I know. No, it's perfect.
So a great community that you've created, and that's how I know you, and that's how we met. So let's start with that.
Okay.
Let's tell everyone about what inspired you to create a space for creatives to come together and share their experiences. And then from there, we'll start breaking piece by piece as to what led you to that.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So I created, this is my newest venture, I created the Long Island Content Collective back in August of 2024, so just a few months ago. And it came from selfishness. I'm a content creator. I've been a full-time, part-time content creator for about 2 years now. And it's a job. And it's a lot of work. And I'm grateful. Don't get me wrong. I work from my phone. I make silly videos. I get to collaborate with businesses. My family reaps the benefits. I'm able to help put groceries on my family's table dressed like this, like, just being myself. However, it's difficult because it is a creative industry. It takes creative juices. It's hard. And so I didn't have anybody to talk to about that. I was chatting with one other content creator, another influencer, and we would chat here and there. Excuse me. And we would talk about the woes of creating, but we never got into the nitty-gritty. I found that there was an unspoken competition, an unspoken apprehension between creators. I don't know where it comes from, but it just is. And I said, can I curse?
Yes.
Fuck that. I'm done with this. I need to talk to somebody about how it may be rosy on the outside and it may be great and I can work in my socks and no bra, but it's difficult. So what am I going to do about it? So I decided to create the Long Island Content Collective, Long Island's first premier support event and networking group for content creators and influencers.
Yeah.
Where we can talk about everything. My biggest stipulation for becoming part of the collective was that you have to be willing to get vulnerable. I wanted to talk about the nitty-gritty. I wanted to talk about speaking with brands. I wanted to talk about who's your contact when speaking with this company. I want to talk about what rate you charge. Influencers get paid. We don't talk about it often necessarily, but
it's like a big secret.
It's a big
if you don't have the friends there. Yeah.
So say that you get paid X and I get paid Y, and we share it. Say you're getting paid more than me. You sharing that with me doesn't take your money away from you. It gives me confidence to ask for more money, knowing that my time is worth it. We go out to a restaurant and it's a collaboration. It's work.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying the meal. I'm enjoying the atmosphere. Perhaps I get time with my husband alone, or I like to feature like family friendly places for my daughter. My food gets cold while I film it.
Yeah.
I have to make sure that I get everything, because for me to highlight a small business, I want to highlight everything that they have to offer.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, I go home and I don't get to go to sleep and enjoy my full belly. I have to edit the content. I have to make the video. I have to make sure that in my caption or my voiceover, I'm getting everything. So again, I never want to sound ungrateful, because I'm so grateful for it.
Yeah.
But it's hard work, and I needed to talk to somebody about it. So again, selfishly, I created the collective.
I love that. And now we all have a place to go and talk about our experiences. And hey, have you worked with such and such company? Mm-hmm. Hey, what was your experience like? It's kind of like a union of content creators. I love that, because now we're like, did you hear back from the company that still has to pay your bill?
Yes.
And then, and then we all get together and we decide on what's the best route to take for content creation. And then we have wonderful collaborations like you guys just did with a restaurant. I forgot which one. A bunch of you got together and did a collaboration. It was so cute.
I
love that.
Giveaway.
Yeah,
that was fun. That was a lot of fun. And we actually got to talk and hang out, because you go to an office or a 9 to 5, and you talk to your coworkers.
Yeah.
We are coworkers,
yeah,
but we're not seeing each other, and we're doing different things. And I just thought the community is necessary, so why not create it?
Exactly. And I feel like when you create content, you're so isolated, and having the content creative collective, I keep calling it creative collective, content collective, it's like waking up in the morning, you're like, what's my union up to? What my friends up to?
My husband's a union worker. We're a union family. And so he always jokes, he's like, you need to unionize. And he's like, you need to be the foreman. You're going to have a super, because it brings people together, and it ensures that you're treated fairly.
Yeah.
Or at least that's how I interpret it. Mm-hmm. And we all deserve to be treated fairly. And if, quite frankly, I don't know if I should reveal this, but if somebody's been a terror to work with, whether a restaurant or an experience or a hotel or something, it's kind of our duty to chat with one another and be like, hey, this was a misrepresentation, or this is not what I was told, so we could all be aware of it, because this is our livelihood. Yeah.
And that really helps to communicate. Maybe in the future that could be avoided for other content creators, because maybe the business owner is not aware of their behavior, and then someone from the collective can be like, hey, well, this was the experience in the past, how can we make it better going forward?
Sure.
Right.
Because so another part of the collective is that I wanted to bring together established creators. I wanted to inspire confidence in up and coming creators, aspiring creators, and I also wanted to help small businesses. So my earlier, excuse me, when I was asking him, what are we talking about today? You said what your goal is and what you do and who you are. And I realized in therapy these past few months, my therapist pointed it out, that my overarching theme, and she said it, and it's one of those aha moments. My overarching theme is I just want to help people. So whether it be the Long Island Content Collective or my other business, Mamas and Minis, or through creating content, my niche is motherhood, mental health, and lifestyle. Lifestyle, for those who don't know, it's just a fancy way of saying I'm going to put everything out there. And there you go. Yeah. I just want people to know that they're not alone, because for so many years of my life, I felt alone. And when I came out of that box with help from other people who supported me, I realized that I was never alone, but the mind tells you crazy things.
Yeah. And that's amazing. I really felt super supported and heard and validated all of the events that we've had so far. Even when I was I a speaker?
You were a speaker twice.
Okay.
I mean, exactly.
Oh no, the first one I wasn't. Right? It was a get together.
That was for everybody.
The intro.
But the what the heck is the word? My aspiring and what do I call them?
Established? We did established and then we did
and
aspiring.
aspiring, and like people who are up and coming creating beautiful content, or people who don't know how to create content, small businesses. You spoke at both of those because you are an established, badass woman content creator with a brick and mortar business. Which when I pull in and I want to fan the flames of desire for content creating for small businesses, you were like that's it, because I don't understand brick and mortar. I don't know how you could make money and pay the rent and then pay your, so it makes no sense to me. So to have somebody who was so successful, it was a no-brainer.
Thank you. Yeah, it's a game I play every day.
Bless you.
It's a game. It's literally a game.
It's one that I'm going to refrain from. Yeah.
For now. Who knows?
Exactly. You
never know.
You said it earlier, and I believe this with every cell in my body. The universe gets what the universe wants. And if, as long as I'm open and ground myself and don't let like my head get caught in the muck of life, I know that the universe will bring me whatever's supposed to come.
Yeah, absolutely. And with you being so giving, what you put out into the universe will return. I believe in that wholeheartedly. That the more you give, the more you will receive back. And you're putting out so much kindness and support, and that you'll receive that back. I'm confident. And you already are.
I also give out sass and don't fuck around. And,
Yes, but boundaries are
there's
healthy.
A lot of kindness.
Yes. Healthy boundaries needed. Always. So tell us about how you got started in content creation. Do you have that moment that you remember is like, this is it. This is what defined me as a content creator, or this is how I got started. Something that was pivotal and that brought you to fast forward to where you are today.
Yeah. So it's interesting you say that, because back in April of 2021, there was an acquaintance of mine, Lauren Zambelli Davis. She actually did my mortgage. That's how I knew her. We just stayed. We stayed in touch through social media. We both got pregnant at the same time. Really, really long story short, she started a group that I came on, and we co-founded the group Mamas and Minis Long Island. It's a event networking and support should go first, support group for moms on Long Island. A big part of the special sauce of Mamas and Minis that we implemented to help moms feel welcome was that in the beginning of play dates, we would do introductions. And so we'd say, we're going to go around. If you have a toddler and they're running around, don't worry about it. If you feel like you need to scream or cry, that's okay. If your kid is screaming and crying, that's okay. You're safe here. But we'll say your name, your child's name and age, where you're from, and what you do. If you want to add it, don't worry about it if you don't want to. So I'd say, hi, I'm Nicole. This is Magnolia. She was like 5.
I love her name. It just gives me goosebumps.
Thank you. She was 5 months at the time. She just turned 3. It's crazy. And I'd say we live in, where we live. And then I'd say I'm a content creator. I used to say I was also a nursing student, and I am an RN, but I never worked as an RN. So I say I'm an RN. I'm a stay-at-home mom. And then a few months into Mamas and Minis, I started introducing myself as a content creator. And I was like, holy shit, I'm a content creator.
Yeah, official.
I know. And it changed something in me. It allowed me to realize the weight behind what I was doing. And it allowed me to dive in fully and realize that I had a voice and I had something to say. Well, I've never felt like stifled. I've always spoken my mind. I'm very grateful for that too. Anyways, it just became more real. My page started in 2019 as my health journey. In 2019, I had weight loss surgery. Over the next year and a half, I lost 110 pounds, but I changed everything about my life. I was eating well. I was exercising. I was taking care of my mental health. I was also in nursing school. I got pregnant. So it started as, my exercising, what I eat in a day, how I maintain the balance between, the mental muck. I said muck twice now. The mental muck of what connects what connected my disordered eating, and sharing it all. And there's a huge weight loss surgery community on Instagram.
Okay.
And that's how I plugged in and stayed connected. And I'm like, listen, I don't mind putting my life out there. Let me just share this. And my page grew and grew. Then I moved away. I started to gain a little bit of weight, but I was still eating well and exercising. I got pregnant. I was finishing nursing school, so that's when it kind of morphed into lifestyle. And then I had Maggie, and my whole personality became mom life.
Yeah.
And so my page morphed even more, but it's grown. It grew significantly as a weight loss surgery page, and then slowly during nursing school. And then I've had a bunch of spikes in motherhood when it changed to that page.
Yeah, I love that your content creation organically grew.
Yeah.
With your life. So it wasn't something like, you had your life and you're like, actually, my content creation is going to be only about puppies.
Yeah.
And then, even though if you love puppies, you didn't create a page specifically just to work on puppies. Like, you organically created your page as you grew. Your page grew, and your content is very organic to you and your life, and it's a representation of who you are, which is super amazing. Social media in general has the stigma of being fake, and you're so authentic and so real, and I think that's why people are drawn to you and the collective. I think, the authenticity of it, because what you get on social media is the same Nicole you get in real life. Maybe a little sassier on social media.
A little bit, yeah. I know I'm a little more reserved, I guess, in person. I have a big bark with no bite, I should say. I appreciate that. I remember the turning point. I can't really go into details, but I was somewhere and I heard someone not complaining, venting about very real things in their life, about their marriage, their home life, their children. And they said one thing, and they were pouring out their soul, and I was so grateful that they felt safe enough to do that. And then 2 days later, they posted on Facebook the complete opposite. And I said, this motherfucker. Because it was a diamond necklace, it was a fancy restaurant for date night, it was prim and proper children, it was a clean house. And I said, I've been inspired. I've been inspired to cut the bullshit. And when I rebranded my page, it was originally Nicole VSG. VSG is vertical sleeve gastrectomy.
Okay.
It's the kind of surgery I have. Okay. And I rebranded to my new handle, which is honestly Nicole.
Okay.
So like Nick and then goal, like Nicole.
Yeah.
Honestly, because I refuse to be anything but transparent. Nick, because that's me. And goal, because we got goals. Yeah. Whether it be about my health or my weight or nursing school or being the best mom or just being transparent and authentic. And that's like the biggest compliment that someone can give me, that they can see the authenticity. Yeah. Because that woman, when she posted that, there were people out there, and they need to work on comparing, but it happens, comparing themselves to her.
Felt bad about their lives.
And they have no idea what her real life is. And so I said, I will never. So, like, people will be like, oh, I love your bag. And I'm like, thanks, it's fake. Oh, I love your ring. Thank you, it's moissanite. It's not a diamond. Because I'm vain and I wanted a big ring. But I refuse to spend a lot of money on diamonds.
It's all good.
Because I will never let somebody compare themselves to me and think like, oh, she's got it like that. Like, it's not true. And I want people to know that they're not alone.
Yeah. Real life is not always diamonds and rainbows and unicorns, right?
Yeah, it'd be beautiful if it was, but it's not.
It'd be so boring.
It would.
It'd be so boring. There's a TV show that we just watched, Dark Matter.
Okay, I haven't seen it.
It's really good.
Is it?
And yeah, so I'm not going to give out the plot, obviously, but one of the episodes is the main characters arriving in the utopian world and how it's so beautiful, and like it's got this undertone of pink and purple in the background. You're like looking at the skies, and it's all like vanilla purple and pink, and the restaurants are all glass floor to ceiling, and like they're rich, and they can just get dresses anywhere, and then you're like, that is so boring. For 1 day, it's great. For 2 days, it's great. For maybe a week, I'll give it a week. But then after that, what happens to human drive? And what happens to your why? What happens to your desire if you don't have to drive for anything anymore?
Yeah, and where does the gratitude come from?
Yeah.
If you don't experience
The hardship.
The hardship, the yucky, the terrible. It's like
I was waiting for muck.
muck. Oh my God! So I said yuck, yuck,
Yes.
the yuck,
The yuck, the muck. Yeah.
And how can you feel good about the good things? Listen, don't get me wrong. When I'm in a depressive episode, I'm not like, I'm so grateful for this. I'm like, fuck, again. But then you come out of it, and it's all about perspective.
Mm-hmm.
I have it like on me. Gratitude changes everything.
Yeah.
Perspective changes everything. It's not easy. No. I spent over a decade of introspective work on myself, whether it be, like I'm in recovery. So I go to meetings, doing step work, speaking with my sponsor, or therapy. It takes time. Yeah. And it's hard, but it's worth it.
Do you think thank you so much, first of all, for sharing that vulnerable part about you. And I love that you're so open about it. It takes that barrier of, oh my God, can I ask the question away, and you feel more real.
I was a raging drug addict. We could totally talk about it.
We could talk about it on another podcast.
Yeah, absolutely.
For my other occupation. So I'd love that.
Yeah.
But I was just wondering if going to the meetings and having that support for years and years is something to do with why you created a supportive community for content creators.
Oh, 100%. And I just need to say this, that the meetings I go to, I'm just a person that goes. I'm not a representative.
Uh-huh.
What I say doesn't mean that that's all meetings. Mm-hmm. I just need to say, because like the anonymity of it, like my meetings are sacred and people go there to save their lives. It's just a part of my life. So
still support.
Yeah, so if I act like an asshole one day, I never want someone to be like, see, everybody who goes to meetings acts like asshole. No, I'm just one person. My whole life is inspired by my meetings and my recovery. Never alone, knowing that you're never alone is what the meetings are about. So I took that and I ran with it. And we always say, like, in meetings, like what we learn and living like that is one thing, but how are you living on the outside? And I fuck up, I always say, like, I drive like an asshole sometimes, or I want to flip people off, or I'm rude to people, or if somebody, sometimes I'll come for someone. Oh, you okay, mommy?
Sorry.
Sometimes, no, don't be. I'll like come for someone on the internet. I'm not healed. I'm not I am a good person, but I'm not. Anyways, yes, it's the complete inspiration every day for what I do, because I'd be nowhere without my community. Mm-hmm. And remember earlier I said, like, when I came out of that box and I realized that I wasn't alone, it's like the box opened and I stepped into my meetings, and now I'm like, oh, there's like a world of good people, and a world of people who need help. How do we bring them together?
I love that. And we feel that togetherness for sure.
Yeah.
And, the support that we have with all of the changes on social media platforms, it could be super isolating, and you can, reflect the changes in the algorithms onto yourself. And we've all done that. But having a support of the community of content creators that you created is so helpful, not to project the algorithm changes onto your persona and just not get all in your head about not being exposed or having a lesser performance on your social media. It's happening across the board to everyone, but you are so isolated when you don't have that community that you can just believe, well, my content maybe is different, or maybe my content is not good enough, or whatever. And it's the reality of creating on social media platforms, is that you don't have the answers because everyone's playing a guessing game.
Yeah. And it's the psychology of it all, right? Like, say that you work in finance or something, and I don't work in finance, so I don't know, but I'm just assuming based on what I see on TV. You get like a quarterly review or an annual review.
Yeah.
Creators get a daily review. You post something, and like in your head, you could be confident. I'm confident. I believe in
this. This is a great content, blah, blah, blah.
Exactly. And I look at my page and I'll go back to my grid and I look and I'm like, I'm really fucking proud of what I post and how I put out there. And I'm good at editing videos, and I'm good. Excuse me. Sorry if I picked up on the mic.
That's it.
I'm good at what I do because I practice and I put in the consistency. But if you get something and it doesn't get views or it doesn't get likes, it gets locked in there. And for so long, I didn't have anybody to talk to about it. So now we come to the collective, we come to our group chat, and we can talk about it. And so I was part of another part that inspired this. I was invited a while ago to a Meta creator community group on Facebook. And it is, I don't know if it's international, but it's definitely nationwide.
Okay.
There's no real community because it's like people's Facebook names, you don't know their handles. Like sometimes they'll put in like, hey, like their screenshots. Did you see this engagement? What's happening? I did this. What's wrong with this? And then Meta employees will write back to you.
It's not really personal, I'm assuming, right?
What'd you say?
It's not very personal.
It's not at all. It's kind of like somebody reaches a breaking point and they take a screenshot and they're like, why did this happen? This got this many views, this didn't get. What's going on? And I was like, why don't we have that locally? And from what I heard, they have a lot of like groups or people who are friends, creators in the city and stuff. I was like, we need to bring it out here.
Yeah.
And so I was inspired by the Meta community group I was in. But I found that there's still apprehension that for whatever reason, I think it's a societal thing. People think that because you have, I can't have. Or because I have, I don't want to tell you because then you take and then I can't have it. And like, I wish that everybody understood the concept of abundance and like eternal and universal abundance. And even like, let's talk money, like dollars, like a finite amount of money. There's enough people on this island. There's enough money on this island. There's enough businesses, restaurants, hotels, other creators for all of us to have.
Yeah.
I think I hit a wall with the collective that I felt that perhaps people weren't benefiting the way that I wanted them to benefit, and that was an expectation. That was my own. That was my own problem. An expectation is just a resentment waiting to happen.
Yeah.
Even if it's a positive expectation, it's still. And the group chat is wonderful. The creators are wonderful. I just find myself thinking, how can I help more?
Which leads me to my next question.
Sure.
What's the plan?
Oh, the plan is just more.
More.
But how can we reach more people while also creating an intimate community? I haven't figured out quite yet what it is. I don't have all the answers. I do believe the universe will bring it to me.
Yeah.
It's kind of like for the people, so we have to ask the people what they want. But if people aren't feeling vulnerable in a good way or feeling like the push to be honest or myself included, sometimes I put up a wall. Not throwing shade at anybody. I want to know how I can help them. Like, what else can I do? The plan is onwards and upwards.
I love that.
In all aspects of my life.
Do you have any plans for events in the collective for 2025?
Yes, I do. So I found that I was putting all of my effort into these events. And I love it so fucking much. Like, I started throwing events with Mamas and Minis with Lauren. And Lauren and I are really great at throwing events. I never knew I could do it in the past. Like before this, we've thrown events for thousands of people. It's amazing. It just comes together literally on our phones. Yeah. You just chat with people and it's crazy.
And this is why you look so confident when you're throwing an event for 50. When you did the first launch event, I'm like, she like floats around the room.
Oh,
what's up with that?
Thank you so much.
You're just so confident. You're like, hi, welcome. Thank you so much for coming next.
Well,
not in the way of detaching, but like there's so many of us coming through the door, and you didn't feel overwhelmed in like any way, shape, or form. You know, you get overwhelmed when there's so many new people coming at you, and you're just like, hi, welcome. How can I help? Well, what are you here for? Just like you floated through. It looks like you had like the Aladdin carpet under your feet, just floating through, saying hi to everyone. It was really great.
I do get overwhelmed though, and I it's really hard.
You manage it well.
Well, thank you.
You don't hide it. You manage it.
Well, and that's what it takes practice. I get really overstimulated. So in an atmosphere like that, everybody there was handpicked. The list was curated. I went and I found creators on Long Island. I looked through hashtags. I asked people who inspires you, who are your favorite influencers or creators. And I went and I vetted them a bit because there's only room for love and light and abundance and community in the Long Island Content Collective. But I didn't want to talk to anybody that night because I don't have the bandwidth for it. I was making sure the event ran smoothly. I was saying hello to everybody, truly like looking in the eyes, hugging, connecting, so grateful they were there. But then, I don't know if you noticed, I would like float to the corner. I like to watch
and
everybody enjoy.
That's why I thought you were floating.
Yeah, I would literally float back to the corner.
Yes.
And I want people to reap the benefits of like what I've put together. But yes, we have more events coming. We have mixers for established creators. We have more workshops coming for the aspiring creators. We also have a group chat going with them. We have more speaker panels, which I'm probably just going to ask you every time, and you can say no. But
I love it.
You have so much to offer this community.
Thank you. I love speaking and sharing and inspiring. I feel like inspiration is something that I always had to search for on my own.
Yeah.
And I used to go to New York City for it.
Oh.
I used to always just either hop on a train or drive to New York City and go and either sit in coffee shops or walk around different stores or go to museums or go to exhibits and just get inspiration. And then back in the day, you know how back in the day you had to be somewhere to look at stories that were geotagged?
Oh my God, yes.
Now you can, you know, so
now you can just click on the place and see the geotag.
Yeah. Now you know, I think it was like 10 years ago, whatever, you would have to go, and I was still in fashion industry, so I would literally go to the city to get inspired.
Yeah.
And so I felt very alone in that, and there was no collective or anything like that I could be a part of.
I don't even
back then.
Influencers were named at that point.
They were, but they were like the top of the top world influencers. Yes. Yeah. Like the, Ciara Fiorani or whatever her name was. One of the OGs. And you're like, oh, how do they do it?
Yeah.
And it was just such a thing. I'd go to New York City and who else, some, models or whatever. And then that's kind of how I felt very alone. And that's why I like speaking about it, because I like inspiring people.
Yeah.
You don't have to have 100,000 followers to be a social media creator.
That's what we've spoken about.
Yeah.
It's like our first workshop with the aspiring creators was like how to make your first $1,000.
Yeah.
With
50 followers.
Because it's not about the following. Of course, following helps and like, but we've spoken about it. If a business, and I don't know, I'm giving away the secrets now, if somebody's done their work to work with somebody, like we're looking at engagement rate.
Yeah.
If you have somebody with 1,000 followers, but they're getting 200, 300, 500 likes.
That's an insane engagement rate. Yeah.
Their influence on these people is huge.
Yeah.
So I wanted people to know that like micro influencing is a thing and that you can be successful from the beginning. And you can't look at these people with hundreds of thousands. Even for me, looking at people with hundreds of thousands of followers, I compare myself. Or somebody who has 30,000 more than me or whatever. And I have to realize that we both have beauty to bring to this industry and value.
Yeah. And numbers are so subjective. For example, one of my accounts became really big. I think my personal one. I gained most followers during Corona because I created a yoga platform for, like, how Alo Yoga has an online class platform. So because I had to shut down my studio, the only way for me to teach was online.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So,
I didn't know that's how it grew.
Yeah, so that was one of the biggest pushes in the following.
Yeah.
But it was an international following.
It was?
Because my yoga classes weren't just for my local clients.
Exactly.
It grew beyond Long Island, beyond America, and I have a lot of international following, which brings me absolutely no engagement in things that I do locally. I do have the number, but then some of the things that you see that I post about getting a haircut in Babylon Village,
those people
international viewers are not going to interact with my reel or even care about its existence because it is so not relevant to what they're searching for.
Yeah.
So it's so subjective in many ways.
So, but now some of those people who followed you for that could just continue following you and like you, and they just want to see a day in your life, you going to get a haircut. I'm going to butcher what she is. I'm not even going to say a marketing analyst, specialist, professional. She owns her own agency. She did a workshop with Steph Paradiso, Inspired Social Coach. She's incredible.
Mm-hmm.
And we were giving tips and secrets. We did like a Black Friday holiday workshop.
It was virtual, yeah.
She normally offers it for hundreds of dollars. She did it for $17. She's a professional, so I was like, I don't know where the number came from, but whatever.
Yeah.
People come to these workshops and they want the secret. How do I gain followers?
Mm-hmm.
How do I make money? And like, the biggest overarching theme that Steph talks about is community.
Mm-hmm.
You have to build a community.
Mm-hmm.
You can't post something and then just leave it.
Mm-hmm.
You need to engage with each other. You need to inspire emotion.
Yeah.
Right? So that like people who followed me for my weight loss journey are still following me because they're watching Maggie grow up.
Yeah.
Or they're watching me, lose 100 pounds, gain 80. I just recently lost 90 pounds. Like eating well, exercising, and I've been on the medical weight loss shot, but I changed my life. And these people are watching my life unfold because we chat.
Yeah.
Because I built a community.
Yeah.
So what's the secret to building a following?
Yeah.
Is community and consistency.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, that's the secret. Consistency is fucking hard.
Yes.
I feel like that's why a lot of people don't continue on with dreams or aspirations.
Mm-hmm.
Aspirations.
Yes. Yeah. Consistency is one of the biggest struggles, I think, in human nature in general, because 100%. Human brain is just so flighty, and the next best thing, the next trend. Yes,
I didn't lose 5 pounds this week. Well, now I'm done.
Yeah.
I didn't gain 20 followers, so now I'm done.
Yeah.
I couldn't clean my whole house, so I'm not even going to clean this corner.
I love your videos about being like, well, this is what my living room looks like.
Because those influencers with hundreds of thousands of followers, or just tens of thousands, they could be local, they could be not, they're showing their beautiful homes, their pristine homes. Now, here's the thing. Somebody could really love that.
Yeah.
There's 3 things.
Yeah.
Somebody could really love that, and that's their home. Respect. Somebody could have a crippling bout of obsessive compulsive disorder that they don't talk
about. That's a whole other different
And so they can't rest until they do it. It's not that they love their home and they have a pristine home. It's that they're crippled by it. Or 3, they do it for the likes and the engagement.
Yeah.
And that's not my fucking story.
Yeah.
Because I can't let that rule my life, and I want to let the mom or the woman, the man, whoever, you don't have to have kids to be relevant.
Yeah.
Know that this is what lived in looks like. And I'm a stay-at-home mom. I have jobs, I have Moms and Minis, I have the collective, I have my content creating. So it's
And you just got your license exam passed?
So I've been an RN. I passed my boards back in 21.
Okay. But now, something big just happened.
Yes, I finished my bachelor's for nursing. Oh, it's fucking over. That's why I paused on the creative, on the SC creative, on the collective.
Well,
because the last event was in October.
Yeah.
I had November, December. I had to finish my clinical hours, and I had to finish my capstone project.
Amazing.
So I needed to focus on that.
Yeah.
But now school is over. There's not that voice in my head. You gotta do homework.
Yeah.
So I am an RN, BSN,
amazing,
registered nurse, bachelor's of science in nursing. I'm fucking killing
all of the other things.
Yeah, and I'm working with a local midwife, and
amazing.
Life is good.
Yeah.
It didn't have to be this good. I've worked hard.
Yeah.
I've definitely been favored by the universe, but this wasn't handed to me.
Oh, and I worked hard.
And I'm privileged in so many ways. I know that this is not attainable for everybody, but it's attainable for a lot of people. I'm like, let's try. We can try to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. Well, this has been an incredible conversation.
The time flies by.
I know, right?
Yeah.
And there's so much to talk about, but I wanted to share a little bit about your story, a little bit about the collective, and how can our listeners follow you on Instagram, follow your journey, follow all your pages, stay on top of things, and maybe even become a part of the collective.
I would love it. Yeah, so there's a few ways. So my personal page is honestly Nick _goal. I'm sure if you're local, if you type in honestly Nick, it'll pop up.
Mm-hmm.
If not, I didn't
Yes.
on all of
I will be
pages.
sharing this in the show notes as
Okay.
well.
If you're a local mom and you're looking for community, you're looking for discussion and a little bit of like uplifting love, you can join Mamas and Minis Long Island, MAMA, and Minis, MINIS. Mamas and Minis Long Island. And if you're an aspiring creator or you're looking to get started or you've thought about content creating or influencing, but you know, your uncle at a barbecue is like, oh, that's not real. I can't do that. Or you're embarrassed, come see us. Long Island Content Collective. You can find us on Instagram. Watch out for our events that are going to be popping up.
Yeah. I'm really excited about that.
And let's connect.
Yeah. Actually, a friend of mine who has a media company reached out to me the other day. She's like, I remember you spoke at an event at Noema, which is an amazing restaurant that's been hosting us, right?
Love that.
And you made a video. I'm also making content. Can you share the video you made with me? Because I want the snippet of the restaurant. I was like, sending right away. I was like, this was months ago, and someone remembers that I made a video, and they were like, can you please share it because I didn't capture the front entrance of the restaurant. I was like, this is what it's about.
And that's a part of sharing like content.
I was like, here it is.
Oh, I love
Use it
that.
in a video.
Oh, I should connect with them too.
Yeah, because it's not going to take away from me and my goals and life aspirations or whatever if I share a snippet of a video that I took months ago with someone who's working on a video now. It doesn't take away from me.
And the video they're working on is to benefit that small business.
Yes.
So why wouldn't you want to continue to benefit the small business?
Exactly. That's what it's about.
Yeah.
It's about sharing and creating community and collaboration over competition. Is that what you say all the time?
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah. But on that note,
let's do
collaboration over competition.
Every day.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much again for being a part of our Thrive with Ina podcast. Woo. Yes. Right. This is sort of a comeback for the podcast because I've taken a break for like 2 months to record. Because I've been involved in a whole new project, a whole new really big role. So I needed time to transition myself, and this episode is a comeback.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you very much, and everyone, stay tuned for this amazing episode. Woo.
Bye, guys. Yeah.